Previously from The Hood Blogger.
Now, the 1996 bank robbery was a failed robbery attempt on a PNC branch in the Feltonville, Philadelphia area on Tuesday, 2nd January 1996. So this was, a day after New Year's. The robbery was carried out by rappers Warren Steady B. McGlone and Christopher Cool C. Roney. Tarif Wooten, aka Little Rucky, born November 23rd, 1981. What a lot of people don't know about Ruck is he was from 12th and Cambria. His mom passed when he was around the age 7. He also got an older sister and 2 older brothers. After his mom passed, him and his older brother Milk moved to the Ocho as we know it. The Ocho is 18th in Ontario. It's a part of North Philly. At this time, Rucky was 7 years old and his older brother Milk was 9 years old. When they moved to the Ocho, they met a couple guys, but 2 of the people that they met when they first moved to the Ocho was Chops and Bump. Now, Chops was the same exact age as Rucky. They both were 7 years old at the time when they met. What's good, y'all? This SB Twiz, the Hood Blogger. You already know how I carry it. Shout out to everybody that's been rocking with the content, man. I appreciate y'all. First and foremost, man, Happy New Year's. Secondly, if you're new to the channel, man, join the family, bro. Hit that sub button. Other than that, man, hit that like button. You already know how we carry it over here. But today, man, we're going to get into the Lex Street Massacre. For those of y'all that don't know what the Lex Street Massacre is, man, y'all about to find out today. The Lex Street Massacre is the name given by the Philadelphia Daily News reporter to a mass murder that took place in Philly on December 28th, 2000. It was the deadliest mass murder in Philly history. 10 people were shot in a crack house in the 800 block of Lex Street in West Philly. 7 of them died. Originally, police had thought the shooting was due to a drug turf war, but in 2002, when the 4 guilty men were arrested, it was revealed that the issue was over a car. Black told police that he had traded a Chevy Corsica along with $300 for Porter's, who was one of the victims' Dodge Intrepid. Porter did not know how to use a Corsica stick shift and blew out the clutch. Now, it's like, before we get into this, it's like, what was just so crazy about that is like, whether you swapping a car or you buying a car, normally the first thing you do is you hop in that well. You dig what I'm saying? And you check that joint out. So I don't even know how, for one, this car transaction was even done and complete, you know what I'm saying, without Porter knowing that, this joint was a stick shift. You know what I'm saying? That's like one of the first joints you do when you get it. But anyway, I'm going to continue with this story. So Porter didn't know how to use the Corsica stick shift and blew out the clutch. After these issues, Porter went to Daoud Farouk's house, who traded a pistol for the Dodge Intrepid. Porter wanted his Dodge back, but refused to pay for the damaged clutch on the Corsica. Reportedly, Porter took his car back the next day with the extra set of keys that he had. It was a bad car deal that led to the shooting on December 28th. Black told police that the night of the massacre was meant to gather or corral the victims, but when Daoud's mask fell off, they began shooting to protect his identity. In the end, 7 were dead and 3 were injured. The murders received substantial public attention, and 4 suspects, Jamel Lewis, Sakan Yuk, Haziq Thomas, and Quentin Perrine, were charged. However, there was insufficient evidence for the prosecution, and after 18 months in jail, charges were dropped. So just to break it down a little bit, the 4 guys that they originally arrested for it didn't have anything to do with it. So they was, you know, sitting with one of the biggest cases in the city of Philly, all on the news, everything. And basically the DA was trying to, you know, they was trying to roof him. You know what I'm saying? They was trying to railroad him during this trial. The evidence was shaky. It's like the DA was, you know what I'm saying, the detectives and everybody was, you know, trying to get them to admit that they had did it and everything. And, you know, the evidence was real wobbly, you know, and obviously those 4 guys that they had in the jail at that time, they ain't have nothing to do with it. But what's crazy is one of the guys that was involved, that was, you know, one of the real shooters, he had got locked up while they was in jail. And the guy that they had locked up, he had a gun on him, and the gun was used in that shooting, and he actually got back out while they was still sitting. But let me get back into it. The men later sued for wrongful arrest and eventually received a $1.9 million settlement from the city. I would have sat for those 18 months for that 1.9. I definitely would have sat for that. In 2002, 4 different men were charged in a case. Brothers Daoud and Khalid Farouki, who denied being involved with the murder, and Shaheen Black. Now, Shaheen Black is the one that I said that he had got locked up while they had, you know, the first 4 guys that they was, you know, trying to say had did it. And, you know, they had let him back out. And also someone called Bruce Veeney. You know, Bruce Veeney was one of the 4 guys that they found out that really had something to do with it. And Bruce Veeney ended up basically testifying on the other 3 guys. But like I say, Bruce Veeney had pled guilty. All 4 were convicted. Excuse me. March 8th, 2004, the prosecution made a plea deal with the brothers. They were given life sentences rather than a death penalty. Black is serving multiple life terms, and Vaney was sentenced to 15 to 30 years in exchange for testifying against the other 3 suspects. He drove the suspects to the scene, but did not actually involve himself in the shooting. This is exactly why the streets do not pay. A lot of times, especially nowadays, when you see a lot of these young boys where, you know, it's no more people. You very rarely see, you know, one person coming up, and I'm not glorifying it at all, but you dig what I'm saying? Like, it's a lot of times, like on the news and all that, you see 4 or 5 guys hopping out the car, somebody driving, they all jump back in the joint, run in there and peel off. You know, a lot of times that person that's driving will be the first one to turn, because he's like, I wasn't shooting, I was just driving. And that's what happened in this case. Now, one of the guys that originally had got booked, which was one of the wrongful suspects, the detectives was like trying to push him to say he did it. He couldn't handle that interrogation room, and they basically had like a testimony set up for him, like a statement set up for him, and the guy signed that statement. Now, the guy that I told you, Shaheen Black, that had ended up getting locked up and had the burner on him from the shooting and ended up getting back out, he eventually had, you know, told his side of the story, and his story matched up exactly with the same exact statement that the detectives had created for the first guy that they was trying to pin on him. You know what I'm saying? So that just show you how dirty the streets are. You know what I'm saying? The streets don't love nobody. And then you got them cops that play foul, man. So you also got to be careful on your whereabouts when you're moving around outside, because you never know what you might get swept up for, and them boys try to pin something on you. But, you know, that was the story of the Lex Street Massacre, basically broken down to, you know, a shorter clip. You know, rest in peace to the victims. It was 7 people lives taken. And you know, it was 3 other people that was injured. And remind you, this was 2002, where they said this was like one of the biggest, you know, basically massacres in the city of Philly. You know, we fallen into 2024 now, so it definitely been a lot of murder since then. And you know, Kabani Savage story that I had touched up on before, man, his story was real crazy too, you know, because it was like children and stuff involved in that joint. But you know, that's all I got for the day, man. Make sure y'all stay tuned. 2024, man, new heat coming, man. If y'all tuning into this video, man, just hit that sub button, bro. Trust me, y'all won't be disappointed, man. We turning it all the way up for the new year, bro. SV Twist, the Hood blog. Everybody stay safe, man. And you know, everybody that's in them hoods, man, around the world, make sure y'all not sitting next to them windows when that ball drop. You know what I'm saying? Because we already know what it's hitting for, bro. I know our Philly, man. Once it get dark, they gonna start letting it rip. They ain't even waiting until it hit around 12 o'clock and all that. So make sure y'all be safe, man. Stay away from them windows. SV Twist, the Hood blogger. You already know how I carry it.